What's going on, Flyers fan? Welcome into Clear the Ice, a Flyers post-game show brought to you by Edge of Philly Sports. I'm Big Al. Flyers win a much-needed win today against a very red-hot Calgary Flames. That was not a pun intended. It was just true facts. The Calgary Flames have been red-hot coming into this game. And, you know, the second time we're seeing the Calgary Flames in less than a week, this time in South Philly. Flyers win 3-2 in regulation, which is nice to see, and you know, just an all around. I don't want to call it a get right game, but I guess would be the term I would use. Would be get right game. Um, you know, they this is their second win in the last 8. And it's a 4-game winless streak that's been snapped. So important that way, and also important how things were. This team showed a ton of fight and tenacity and a lot of fight. I'm not just using that as a pun or a term of term of endearment. There was fighting galore. This was an old school hockey game. Um, Oh, Ryan, what's going on? Uh-oh. Uh-oh is correct. I don't know, or whatever you want to call it, but it was a fierce hot old school hockey battle. Is the best way I could do it. There was fighting, there was skirmishes every few moments, especially in the second and third periods. If you just like watch the first bit of the game, you're like, you know, there wasn't a lot of scoring, there wasn't a lot of anything much going on at all. But the second and third period, this game erupted. You had the Flames in their old school jerseys. You have the Flyers back in the burnt orange. And it's Ed Snyder Legacy Day. It was Ed Snyder Legacy Day at Wells Fargo. So it definitely had an old school mentality flow going tonight. And it was just the type of game it was. Everybody was involved. Things just kept going, just a back and forth game. This was an exciting hockey game. Like if you're introducing somebody new to hockey, you're like, this is the game to watch. Here, come watch this game. This is what hockey is, man. Right here, this is hockey. Because it's fun. It's got everything. It had scoring. It had back and forth. It had a lot of drama. It had the fighting, the aggressiveness. Teams going to bat for their players when they think a dirty hit comes. This had everything. So let's talk about it real quick. And I want to break it all down with you guys. But before I do, I want to thank our great sponsors at Philly Sports Trips. And speaking of Flyers, big game coming up on February 17th in the Meadowlands Outdoor Stadium Series. That's right. Flyers will take on the Devils on February 17th at MetLife. And you got to be there. Outdoor games are just amazing. Divisional rival team, you love to hate the Devils in North Jersey, not New York, North Jersey in MetLife Stadium. Philly Sports Trips got it is a great deal. It is a cheap deal. I'm just saying the price is more than just right. It's an amazing price, great food, great drinks, travel, ticket, you name it, they got it. The Stadium Series is available. Go check it out. Tell them EOP sent you. And if you can't make that, maybe book yourself a nice spring training game down in Clearwater. They have a couple different packages going on. If you maybe a Phillies game out in London, parts of it's sold out, but they do have tailgate and welcome party packages. So check that out as well. Go to phillysportstrip.com and tell them EOP sent you. So like I said, Flyers win 3-2. Beat the Flames, which, like I said, much needed win. This is the second game they've won in 8 games. Been a little bit of a skid lately. First game they won in the last 4 games, or 5 games. I'm sorry. They lost the last 4 games, and like I said, it's Ed Snyder Legacy Day. But it was just the way everything went down from the scoring, the type of scoring. Like I said, the fighting. I'm gonna break it down. Like I said, the first period, there's no scoring. Both teams have opportunities on the power play. Um, Flyers had 2 penalties in the beginning, but in the beginning of the first period, I'm sorry, and then the Calgary had 2 penalties towards the end of the first period, and neither team can really get off the snide and score. Some big moments, big moments from both goalies. But overall, the first period was a little bit kind of like a diesel engine warming up. It wasn't the most exciting of the three periods we saw tonight. But it led into the second period, which was amazing. Angry Ant, what's going on, bud? Good win today. Hart played good. Hart played very well. The one goal, there was a lot of, we'll get into it. There was a lot of traffic in front of the goal, so I can't really blame him. That was a little bit of a defensive breakdown, which we'll get into in a moment. But yeah, really good. Like I said, all around great team win. Great, listen, we need to go out. We need to get this monkey off our back. We need to win. And I know Calgary's good, and most people are like, "Oh, well, it's a good team. We're not going to be." That might be a hard task to ask when you're really kind of fighting to get back up on top. But this team does not seem to let those kind of things seep in, and that's what makes them great. So let's get to that second period. And like I said, in the first period, I mean, shots on goal were 17 in total, 9 and 8 favoring Philly. So that just shows you, because both teams lead the league in block shots, so they are always just falling in front of that puck. And we got teams like that, shots on goal come at a premium. Well, definitely shots on goal got a little crazier in the second period. 24-10 favoring Philly. Both teams put up 2 goals in the second period. The second period will end 2-2, but let's kind of break down those goals a little bit for you. Starting with Herbedeau. He kind of a bit of a villain of the game, kind of coming from behind, cheap shots here and there. Joe saying, love the hustle today by the Flyers. Yeah, you gotta love it. It's just like I said, if you're introducing somebody or to back into hockey or new to hockey, this would be like a game. Here, watch this game. This is what hockey's all about. Joe, good point. He was able to get a breakaway, score the goal, bing bang boom, put Calgary up quickly in the first less than 2 minutes in the first period. Morgan Frost about 2 minutes later definitely got off the schneid for him. This was a big one for him after being benched. Comes out, scores a goal, sitting to the left-hand side of the net, and becomes an opportunist, snaps that goal in, ties the game 1-1. You could see his smiles, like he was just super excited, elated, I guess is a good term to use in a sense. He was again, got that monkey off his back. This is like I said, there's so many little boxes that got checked today that the Flyers needed as a team. And the other one, so they were able to, Morgan Frost, check box, got off the schneid, got a goal, got some energy back in him. And then about 5 minutes later, Uyghur scored in front of the goal. That was the one I was telling you. That was like a defensive breakdown. Really had the Flyers just seem to be on their back heels of their skates. And the Calgary just kept putting the puck back on goal, flashing it in front of the net. But Uyghur was the one who actually was able to capitalize, gave Calgary the score, or gave the lead back to Calgary in the second. And it would be that way for about another 7 minutes, a little less than 7 minutes. And let me say this slowly, because we haven't said this much this year, and it'd probably be happy for Matty B to put this little checkbox in his in this category. But a power play goal, you heard that right, guys, a power play goal for your Fighting Flyers. That's right, call me your Fighting Flyers, because that's what they were today. They were fighting. Sean Couturier puts the goal past the net, past the Calgary netminder, and bing bang boom, it is a 2-2 game. And that's how the second would end. But that's not the total story of the second. We're going to get a little bit more into that in a moment. Like I said, guys, I want to remind you, this is brought to you by Sherry'sTickets.com. That's right, Sherry'sTickets.com. Sports, concerts, theater, you name it, they got it. Great prices, no hidden fees. You're not going to get bamboozled at checkout. And you're going to save an additional 10% off using that great promo code EOP10. That's right, EOP10 will save you 10% off by using that great promo code on that great site at Sherry'sTickets.com with no hidden fees and great prices. Sports, concerts, theaters, you name it, they have it. You don't even have to be local to Philly to use them. Sherry'sTickets.com. Check them out. Go to Sherry'sTickets.com and use that promo code EOP10 to save 10% off, of course. So, like I said, that wasn't just the story of the game, the back and forth scoring. There was a lot of penalties given out. And I'm going to kind of try to kind of break this down for you how this went down. Um, um, Elias Lindholm came for a check, bit of a late check, and drove Cam York's head into the boards right in front of the Flyers bench. Definitely like the elbow came out right up the head. Um, Joel Farabee took, right away jumped on him, started what they call it, instigated a fight between him and Lindholm, and that led to a lot of different penalties handed out. And I'll kind of break it down for you here. Of course, Lindholm got roughing against Farabee, as well as elbowing against York. Farabee got an instigator, and Lindholm also got fighting against Farabee, and Farabee got fighting against Lindholm, and a misconduct penalty, which kind of kept him out of the game until the third period, which sucked. But even the announcers were saying, and I kind of agree with the thought processes, it kind of needed to happen. It in at normal speed, it looked like a close call. At slower speed, of course, the call didn't seem as close. If you kind of calculated the time that the puck got past York and the check came in, I mean, I think it should have been, it would have been at least some sort of a call with or without how it went down. Um, but he definitely went to the head. Cam York had to go to the back. And like I said, they both got marked up for the minor penalties, the majors, and the 10 minutes for that. So that they both lost, good players on their teams into about the third period. That was one of the many skirmishes I talked about. Like that was the big one, of course. Every time something, a hit came in, you saw you'll see how this controlled aggression, I guess is a good term to use here, really played in the favor for the Flyers to win the game, because we're going to move into the third period here, and there was one lone goal in the third period, the only one that was needed, the only one we need to talk about here and there was the third goal to put number 3, make it 3-2. Final score of the game for the Flyers came from the one and only Travis Konecny, doing it again for the 10th shorthanded goal for the Flyers this season. Yeah, that's right. You heard it. Shorthanded goal. They had 3 shorthanded goal opportunities this game. 2 came in the first, in the power play for the Calgary, and then this one in the third. I would say major opportunity. There might have been another one, but I'm trying to think. But I think major opportunities wise, those 3 were the top ones. But this one here, this one was a big one, because of course it won the game. It came from TK. Scott Lawton and York was also involved after being out of the game for a little bit from taking that huge hit, uh, giving the Flyers the momentum they needed. And like I said, that was huge. Now there would have been a tie. It almost looked like a tie game, 3-3 at one point. Trying to remember. Oh, sorry, I have my notes here, and they're very slow to okay. Um, there was Lindholm again involved in this one. No, hold on, I'm sorry. Um, my notes are kill. Oh, Zari. It was Zari in this one. Zari, Sealer lost his stick. He checked Zari early into one point, pushed him into the boards, kept him out of the play. A little bit of a retaliation. You saw, like I said, a lot of aggression going on in this game. And he came and shoved Sealer right as the puck was coming on goal, which then bounced off his skate, and it became what looked like to be a tie game, 3-3. But due to the interference call, wiped the goal off the score, and then that would be it. Carter Hart and the defense would do the rest of this game and keep this game at a 3-2 victory for your Fighting Flyers. But that's what I mean. It was a controlled aggression, because Sealer was playing aggressively, made Zari make a really stupid mistake, and cost their now. the reason the interference is called most likely, even though without a stick there, if Sealer was there, he probably would have dove in front of the puck, or he would have. It wouldn't have been. It may not. It most likely would not have been a goal like it occurred because of that. That's why the interference was called. But the controlled aggression was the reason that this game went down this way. The entire step of the way, they were a team. They were fighting as a team, which you're like, oh, fighting as a team. What does that mean? But like, they were doing the right things at the right moments. They weren't reacting at the wrong time, costing their team. Wink, wink, Zari, a W, or at least tying the game in that chance. So that's what I mean when I say controlled aggression. This was a very just well played team effort, but scrappy, very scrappy. That's what I like. Like that's what you want to see from this team because I feel like that's something that's gotten away from hockey a little bit. The speed of the game took a little bit of that down, and then of course some of the new rules. But even the even the refs, did a decent job trying to control the mayhem because you've seen some of these games kind of get out of control like this. But no, but ultimately this was just a great brand of hockey to watch. Like I'm super excited just to sit here and talk to you guys about it. Because the last few games have been not so much fun to watch or not so good. Yo, Mitchy Poo, what's up, buddy? Mitch, I'm sure you'll be seeing him probably either the Sixers post game and or Eagles. Actually, I think I see him with the Eagles this week, Sunday. Pre and post. I have to check the scorecard on that one, Mitch, but I'm pretty sure you will be with me at least one of those. But 3-2 victory. Flyers, like I said, finally get that win they needed. That's the second one in 8 games and broke a 4-game winless streak. And let's actually I'm gonna check the standings while we're here because I didn't check the update. And just so you know, I think that this is the last time. Yes, this is the last time that the Flyers take on Calgary this year, which kind of sucks because it was such a just like I said, old school, tough it out type game. And I loved every last second. Mitch, yeah, huge win for your Flyers. They'll be back in action on Monday against the Penguins, and then they have 4 games next week. One against the Canadians on Wednesday. Friday is the Wild, and then the Jets on Saturday. So 4 games next week. And let's look at the standings right now where they're at. The Flyers they're they're tied for 4th right now. I think the Islanders have to play today still, so this is going to be a back and forth division, especially that top few spots. As long as the Rangers continue to keep their points lead, but the Hurricanes are kind of leaning on them. It's only a 5-game difference between them, 2 games between us and the Hurricanes. So this Metropolitan Division is definitely getting tighter, and it's just going to be like that. It's just if you're watching the standing, it's going to be like the lines going back and forth. If the Flyers continue to play this well, it goes to show you the grit and turnaround that this team has had. Too bad the Sixers don't show this kind of effort last night. Yeah, the tough one last night. And I know Mitch. I think you were on the call last night for the Sixers game. That seemed like a mailed-in type game, which it was tough to watch. But here we're talking Flyers. Like I said, 3-2 victory. They are sitting at 20, 13, and 6 with 46 points, tied with the Islanders. They're technically in 3rd because they have one less game to play. So like I said, they'll be playing, I think, that later today. So that will make or break where we're going to be at. And the Hurricanes are in 2nd and Rangers in top of the Metropolitan Division. But sky is the limit for these Flyers, guys. Just the friggin' limit. You can check out my full breakdown of the article of the game. It'll be coming out real quick after this is done. I will be posting it up on eopsports.com. So I hope you guys are checking that out as often as possible. Time for that newsletter. Comes out every Friday with all the stuff that you missed from the week. And just so much more on eopsports.com. You can find out individual shows about the individual hosts and writers that we have there. Just tons of content coming your way there from your 4 for 4, and so much more, as we always say here at EOP. Wrestling, pro wrestling, and amateur wrestling, or pro and like WWE, AEW, and the local indie realm, as well as Union and the Wings, and so much more. So check out eopsports.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. Actually, we're live on Instagram right now, so I'm gonna wave hi to Instagram people. What's going on, everybody? So check it out. Actually, I think Joey Woods was just popping in here. He's one of our writers and hosts over there for all our wrestling content here. And actually, you've seen him some other stuff too as well. So guys, that is about it on that. Let's break down I'm gonna give you my stars of the game. I would go Morgan Frost, number one, getting off the schneid with his goal. He had also the assist. So I gave him 2 points in the game today. So that was definitely 2 points he needed to get. Like I said, he was recently benched. Now he came back in and was able to produce. Which it's funny how benching works in hockey better than other or differently than the other 4 major sports, but it was good to see him get off there. And I guess Konechny, of course, with that shorthanded goal, he'd be my mate, the start of the game as well, winning everything. Hart's another one. I think Hart would be my next one on this one. This was one of those games that was hard to take because there was a lot of fight and effort in him. But Hart, had a really, like I said, the one goal was, breakaway goal. He let up. But the other one was the one that with the defensive breakdown in front of him. And that I really don't blame the goalie on as much. He stopped like 3 other shots on goal in that flurry of shots on goal. So yeah, overall, just a great play by him. And Markstrom too for the Flames. That has something has to be said about that. I mean, it is the opposing team, but he, played very well. I mean, he made some big saves. So overall, just all around great game. I'm going to break down the stats for you. The shots on goal definitely ended up favoring the Flyers, 42-24. Face-off was even 50-50, exact on the nose. The power play, this is correct. Flyers won the percentage win on the power play. They were 1 for 6. They were 0 for 3. Penalty minutes were 29-25. Flyers with the 29. 20 hits, the 11 hits. Flyers were definitely the aggressor at that point. Block shots, again, both teams well known for doing that. Tops in the NHL. 23 for Calgary and 21 for the Flyers. Both had 6 giveaways today. And Flyers had 6 takeaways to the 4 for Calgary. So those are your stats of the game. Hold on one second here. Yeah, that's if that doesn't tell you, like, those scores, those numbers don't tell you how that went out. Like I said, the 20 plus blocks from both teams. I mean, that's just amazing. Just something to wonder at, to look at. Carter Hart, let's talk about him. He stopped 18 of 20 shots on goal in front of him. Yeah, it was 1 for 1 on power plays. He had a 917% save rate tonight, and he played the entire game. And he played well, and that's what you expect from Carter Hart. And it was, like I said, it was a team effort. The whole thing, like, if you said out, like, name this show, like, aggressive team effort, like controlled aggressive team effort, because like that was the one thing I keep kind of come back to: control aggression. Like, they were aggressive, but they were in control. Calgary kind of got off, especially that last chance when they had a goal or at least they thought they had a goal to tie the game up. That interference call was huge, and that was because of the way this game was played, controlled aggression. So, like I said, it was Ed Snyder night. So Ed Snyder is definitely smiling upon the Wells Fargo Center somewhere up above right now. He enjoyed himself a really just great old school hockey game. I said it was almost like they set it up that way, like it was scripted. Like I said, Calgary in their old school jerseys, Flyers kind of returning back to their burnt orange jerseys, and like I said, just a very aggressive smash mouth effort from both teams. But like I said, I think the Flyers were just a little bit more controlled than Calgary, which ultimately was the reason playoff favorite. And it's getting shots on goal. I mean, when you almost double the shots on goal of the other team, I mean, for as close as this game was, you would have thought the shots on goal were a little different. But you just got to keep putting puck on net, puck on net, puck on net. And that's what you'll do. And like I said, it was just one amazing game, and brought to you by one of the best defensive men in the league. That's right, David Archerry, defensive man when it comes to defending you against workers' comp, motor vehicle, personal injury, and criminal law. Call Dave Cherry at 610-565-0300. Go to cherryinjurylaw.com. You get hurt at work, motor vehicle, personal injury, or a criminal law issue. These are life-altering moments. When you need somebody to have controlled aggression, David Archerry is the man. 610-565-0300. cherryinjurylaw.com. It's also brought to you by Dolan's Bar, 24 East Sellers Avenue in Ridley Park. PJ Dolan is the man. I've been to so many Flyers parties, had some famous Flyers from all over the years coming to Dolan. I walked into Dolan's one night just to have a drink, and there he was with a bunch of ex-Flyers, Flyers writers, and everything. Just happened. Just tend to happen because that's just the way it happens at Dolan's. DolansBar.com. Follow him on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Tell PJ that EOP sent you. Quiz our music, great times, memorabilia, great food. Now I'm gonna have all that coming up soon. So check it out. DolansBar.com, 24 East Sellers Avenue in Ridley Park. So guys, that is about it tonight. Flyers big win, monkey off the back, 3-2 over Calgary in regulation. 10th shorthanded goal for the team this year. Travis Konecny puts this game away with the third goal of the game. Like I said, ended their 4-game winless streak, and it was their second win out of the last 8 games. So on Ed Snyder Legacy Day, that's just a huge feat on its own. So other than that, guys, remember there's a lot to come still. Sixers post game. We got Eagles pre, half, and post game show. PM and the AM, of course, tomorrow. And so much more here at EOP this weekend. Check out, like I said, I have the article coming out real shortly, in about the next 5 to 10 minutes. And we'll go from there, guys. Of course, I want to thank you for joining me. Thank you for everybody who chimed in today, this afternoon, on this blizzard we're having outside. So I'm in the Delco area or the Philly area. It's just more just slushy, nothing, no real accumulation. So luckily we lucked out there. You can keep your shovels in the shed, guys. So other than that, guys, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And go Flyers. Like I said, they will return Monday for a 7:00 game against the Penguins at the Wells Fargo Center. So check it out. So other than that, guys, have a great rest of your day.